Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Virginia State 9-Ball Championships 2010 in Midlothian, Virginia, which is a suburb of Richmond, Virginia. I'm Max Eberly, and I'm joined here on the Ustream channel of Inside Pool Magazine with J.R. Calvert, the creator of Inside Pool Magazine and the man behind operations here. JR, it's great to have you in the booth. Thank you for putting on this show.
Thank you, and you're welcome. It's always a pleasure. Josh does a great event. The team here that's been working hard, Alvin Nelson, yourself, Brian Keller, we're all very appreciative of all the hard work you guys have done. Sounds like Josh is going to thank some people here, and let's listen to him as he introduces the players.
Associates, Arrow Funds, cooperation with Kressel Management, McDermott Most Ball, Rack Tight, Engine Tool, Diamond Billiard Products, Inside Pool Magazine, Ron Hoffman, Rob Marshall Studios, and thank you for all that you did for being a sponsor this year. We made it our best year yet. Let's give them all a very good day. Two principals for our tournament, our final. First, playing Virginia out of the playing field, the 2007 Virginia State 9-Ball champion, Mr. Larry Kressel. And his opponent. He is undefeated in this tournament. He is also the reigning Virginia State 9-Ball champion, hoping to win it back-to-back this year from Sterling, Virginia, Mr. Brandon Shuff. One more time, let's hear it from the state's best player.
It looks like, I believe Brandon picked up the lag there.
All right, JR, we have a break here. Larry Kressel, first break of the match.
All right, now he's figured out the break. He's actually in a point where, you know, he doesn't feel that he needs to hit this break hard.
Well, he didn't make one, though, and Brandon's there to mop it up if possible, but I see problems with the 8-ball blocking the 2 in the obvious corner that he would draw back for. So he's going to go for the other pocket with the precision draw shot off the rail and beautifully done. He's got an angle to get pretty much wherever he wants on the 3.
Well, with what looks like the 7-ball above the 3 to the right side of the screen, I think he's going to end up either coming down one rail or going to, well, he elected to go down one rail.
Nicely done.
Yeah.
Great speed. He can just roll up for straight in on the 4 and the side. That's pretty soft shot, actually. You'd have to hit that one real soft. So he could shoot it in one of the corners also if he doesn't want to risk doing such a real soft, touchy shot and risk having the ball roll off line.
Yeah, I think he has the ability to even, you know, pull this ball over to the side rail,
and for sure,
if he wants to stroke it. I kind of like this approach here.
That was a good shot.
Whenever given the chance, I'd rather follow. As long as I get to hit a firm stroke.
Right. Keep the ball on line.
And he wants to stay against that side rail there, and then I guess this rack will be, this is a paint by numbers type of rack now. He's just going to fall off 2 rails and go straight towards the 6.
Right.
And try and get an angle where he can come up table instead of going down table first. And he's close enough that he could draw this, but he'll probably follow to the bottom rail and back up for the 7 in the side. He's taking a look around the table. He just wants to make sure he doesn't get too straight in on the 8, which is actually probably the worst thing he could do right now.
And even being straight in on the 8, you could draw back and spin the cue ball down table for the 9. It's like so many options with this 8 ball. He hit it thinner than he wanted. That's for sure. Maybe the cue ball rolled off. Who knows? That's probably what happened.
Yeah. And he just got right down on the 9 like it's nothing.
Right.
And, well, it shows. Yeah, he hurried up that shot. And, you know, if you're Larry, you're glad to get to the table with this.
Well, he did hit a good speed, though, in case he missed. And, you know, he makes a lot of shots with that quick speed, too. He gets down and shoots it before his analytical side can take over and maybe miss a shot.
Well, if I'm Larry, I'm gonna get up and give this. I'm gonna hit
Grandpa's
it.
road shot.
Yeah.
Put that in for $100 a shot. Even money.
Even money.
Yeah, he made 7 out of 10. Even money. He was actually straight in onto the ball while the ball was frozen. Cut it in either pocket. But hey, you know, it's a tough shot, and can't make all of them.
Well, just like that, Brandon takes a 1-0 lead in the finals.
Well,
and you know, again, first game. Got any predictions
for this match, the outcome?
Yeah.
Well, I mean, Brandon is definitely the favorite. Plays real solid. Won last year. He's definitely the favorite to win this. And it looks like it's going his way here in the beginning. Just the more steam he picks up. I don't know the history between these two players. He said it was a rematch. Brandon did a few minutes ago when he was in here. He said it was a rematch from a couple years ago. Maybe he was referring to a finals where Larry actually won and Brandon got second. Because didn't he get second 2 years in a row, and finally he won last year?
Right.
And I think one of those seconds was from Larry.
Right. Exactly. Larry is also a champion from the VA state. And I thought it was 2007, but down on his bio sheet we have 2006 with a question mark. But if anybody would know, well, that would be Larry.
Yeah.
And just like that, it's 2-0 in favor of Brandon Shuff in the finals of the Virginia State 9-ball. If you're just tuning in, this is the finals of the Virginia State 9-ball. We're here at Diamond Billiards in Midlothian, Virginia. I'm J.R. Calvert. In the booth joining me is the great Max Eberly.
J.R. Calvert. Powerful J.R. Calvert. Thank you, sir. How's it going, man? This is fun.
This is great. This is great. We're watching some great pool. And you know what? Brandon hit those ones a little bit more with a little bit more authority. Right. I think he might be abandoning the, Punch and Judy break that both players used the first couple of racks. I think he's trying to hit him a little harder, and I agree. It wasn't for some reason it just wasn't showing up. I don't know whether the humidity changed in the room, what happened, but the rack that was working with the same racker now. Now, referee Brian Keller is out
yeah.
there racking the balls the exact same way that he racked in the other other match, and both players were just running into the rack and making balls, and that just suddenly changed. So Brandon's very astute to pick up on that and changed his break and made a ball.
Just a nice roll shot here. Just roll off that side rail straight down towards that 7.
Yeah, it's perfect.
That's a good option too. We can hit it a little firmer, and you still have a huge position zone down there. And it just feels right when you're playing the cue ball down 2 rails off that bottom rail.
Right.
Really, you can judge the speed real nicely off that bottom rail.
And plus, it comes across the line a little bit more gradual. So 6 inches doesn't of travel doesn't mean the same as when you go down straight off the rail. 6 inches of travel might change a degree, 2/3 the amount. So it's a gradual approach to that 8 ball, and I really like it. 3-0 already. This is not where Larry wanted to be, was letting the defending champion and the owner of the hot seat get a 3-0 head start.
Well, a lot of people in this pool hall were predicting Brandon to win this year. Pretty much the overwhelming favorite here in the room.
Yeah.
Consensus-wise.
Yeah, pretty much.
He's delivering, but tell you what, though, it was very tough road to come back from, what was it, 8-3 or 8-2 last match?
8-3.
8-3. To come back from 8-3, to pull it out, that's what, legends are made of, times that you remember.
Definitely. Oh, there's definitely a keyhole there. Matter of fact, he even got the carom working for him if he
You'd have to hit it thin and
really
miss the one.
just decides to go for it.
He could bank the 1 cross corner and make the 9.
Yeah. He made the right play. Just pocket the ball and see, don't try and get greedy. Don't be in a hurry.
Yet, the 2 ball I see is blocked.
Wanted to take a second while Brandon was shooting to thank a few of our sponsors that made this free live stream possible. It's Entrust Wealth Management, McDermott Cues, Simona's Cloth, Diamond Billiards here in Midlothian, Diamond Billiard Products, Definitive Synergy, Poolschool.info, and Racktite.
Yeah, the Racktite's turned out to be popular in this tournament.
Yeah.
Popular by being out of mind. There's been no problems, no rack problems.
Definitely.
So it's eliminated one of the problems of life.
And when you're playing pool in a tournament, sometimes you just destroy your rhythm when you get that rack that doesn't go up right, and you get a guy who wants to destroy your rhythm and he uses the rack against you.
Oh, I can't tell you how many times I've had to ask players to keep racking tighter.
Yeah. And they're very glad to just throw them on the table and have all kinds of gaps in the table, between the balls and let you break a loose rack. And either way, you end up paying for the price, and it's just too brutal to kind of overcome those odds at times.
Right.
So this great rack. Another person that I think we should thank is ProPool.com. ProPool.com has been amassing stats for players for about a decade and a half now, and they're providing the live scoring stats that you guys are getting provided to you in the lower portion of the screen, and the things that we talk about during the matches that are being played. That's Ron Hoffman and his staff, and they're diligently working and getting a numeric rating to just about every player that they can possibly get a hold of. And they're out there right now taking these stats, getting them all calculated. And if you want to kind of see where you're at, maybe see what Ron has going on, go over to ProPool.com. Tell them we said hello. There's a lot of ways for you to do things and get involved with getting stats, keeping stats, even finding out how to, improve your game. So check them out. Meanwhile, back at the ranch, Larry's getting ready to get his first point if he can get this shot kind of come over and lay on the rail. Nice shot. A lot of touch.
Yeah. Larry's playing well.
Well, after 4 games in the bag, the score is 3-1 in favor of Brandon Shuff over Larry Kressel. For those of you just tuning in, this is the finals of the Virginia State 9-ball championship here at Diamond Billiards in Midlothian, West Virginia, or Virginia, sorry. Knew I was going to make that mistake one of these times. I had to wait till the finals to do it.
Right.
Said it right all weekend. But anyway, Larry, let's see if he stays with that. Yeah, he's staying with it, and you notice he made the corner ball straight in. And that's why he's keeping that softer break, because he doesn't need 6 rails off of 3 of the balls. He's making a ball straight in. So at that point there, he's just going to position the 1 in the queue and see if the rest of the players take their places. And that's smart. That's smart. That could get him back in this match. If he figures out the break and Brandon is still trying to, find a speed that lets him control the break,
I'll tell you what,
it'd be a big difference.
It's still going to be a shooting contest between who shoots the best. He's still going to have to back it up with some really solid shooting.
He's,
you know.
Yeah, I'm surprised he got all of that one. That ball had a freakish amount of draw on it for what he stroked the ball. I know that he didn't want to draw it into the corner, and I don't think that he thought that it was going to draw that much.
Well, he just can't afford it. The problem is, even if he plays perfect from now on out, the lead is so much that it's definitely surmountable. However, unforeseen rolls could rise up even on a perfect shot, and
Sure.
and stop him.
Well, we haven't had a ball skid yet. And, Simona's is a great cloth, and you're not going to get it so much. But there's always a chance that there's going to be a little residue of chalk left on a ball from a break. And it's going to be right on the contact point of the 2 balls when and you never notice it, and you think you have an easy shot, and it skids. And it happens.
Well, that's why I have a new laser detector that detects any residue on the balls and cleans them up with the laser that is in the corner of the room every time, so you can't miscue ever. The balls will never skid. And,
Available for $7,995 at your local Ace Hardware, or what are we talking?
No, just a $299 a month subscription to maxeverly.com.
Well, we're not beyond shameless plugging here at Inside Pool Magazine.
But you can try out my free 8-day Pool Mastery Boot Camp on my website. Sign up, give me your name and email, and I will send you 8 lessons, one every 3 days, on how to improve your game, like 4 to 7 minute videos each, high definition on YouTube. I'll send you the link and a summary of the lesson. So that's for free, and it's cool though to teach people. I like pool because it doesn't really mess with the other people, and that's what's going on around the world today. So anything that's a peaceful activity gets my vote. It's one reason I stick behind playing pool.
Totally agree. Well, Brandon made a nice shot there. He got right back in line here. Not that he got out of line. That's what he was kind of left with there. And the real shot that I see is the 6 to the 7. That's going to be the big shot in this rack. And he's in good enough position that he can control the outcome here. He's not going to have to go too far here to be in stroke or be in position. little straighter than what he wants, but I think he's going to be willing to pull it back. As long as he doesn't have such an angle that he's going to have to worry about the cue going into the 8 with follow or draw with into the 9. I mean, he's...
Yeah. I think he can, with high right spin, go right in between the 9 and the 8. Shoot the 7 in that corner. Just land right there. If it's enough spin, it's touchy either way, whatever he decides to do. That's the one.
That's the one right there. Good
However,
call, Max.
Thanks. Yeah, and he hit it soft, so he was on line to go behind the 9, but his speed was great.
That was a little risky.
He bumped it, and these have been missed a lot in this tournament. I think he's going to make it, though. Wow.
And just like that, that's a big difference at this stage of the game, because we're really looking at 5-1 or 4-2. And Larry needed that after he made that mistake last time.
Right.
Now, as you remember, Larry had figured out the break. This is where Larry needs to step up and concentrate on taking that one mistake and turning it into 2 points so that he can really try and get inside Brandon's head.
Right.
See if he gets this ball straight in. Sure did. And he's not making the wing ball. He's making the ball that's behind the wing ball. And that's really important. It's not like we're saying that he's getting a bad rack. He's getting a great rack. And he's just figured out a speed that has one of the balls going in. Now, if you look to the left side of your screen, you see that the 2 is tied up with what appears to be the 7 ball.
Yeah.
And Larry might be able to come down here and kind of tickle the rail on the way in and cheat the pocket, because the 4 is right there.
Yeah, you think?
I'd want it to be a little bit closer. You think he can just shoot it straight in?
He had to hit it a lot softer if he was going to.
Well, that was that thing.
Angle.
That was that thing, to have it stop and keep the 7 out of the game. He needed to be a little bit closer
To be closer
to the
cue ball.
Yeah, so that he didn't have to power it.
Hit it low, really low, all the way low, and then pretty soft, drag it in. You know, like an Efren touch shot. I think he was close enough for that. But he wanted to shoot it in.
Yeah.
You know.
And you know what? Before we even get any further, we might have not seen that angle correctly. Right. And honestly, he might have had all the room in the world and just missed.
Right.
So it's it happens. But you know, Brandon, it looks like Brandon can't see this shot the whole way, even though it's froze to the rail. I don't know whether he has a shot here that he likes. He might have to kind of really soft roll. He's getting down and squinting and looking to see if there's even room there.
He's going to hook it, I think, around the 7, mass ace down into that cue ball and hook around it and make the 4 and try to come out 3 rails for the 5 in the corner and run out here. But it just didn't hook on him.
Look at this shot.
Tough
He's going to
get
get
that
up and
mass ace
behind
shot.
a 5 there.
Wow.
I don't think Larry's going to jump this ball.
It looked like a 1 pocket shot where you're trying to get back down to the pocket.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, Larry had his chance, and now he's going for a miracle. Had his chance to go up to 3 games within 1 game. We'll see what happens. He could do it.
Well, he's playing the right shot.
Wow. Hit it soft enough to leave the cue ball right there.
Yeah. And he's going to cue this high. That ball can get away from you, and you can tend to do this.
I wonder if there's, like, if their balls are sticky or dirty or anything.
That's what I was just going to say.
Makes me wonder if that ball skidded on him or if he just missed.
Well, when you cue that shot high, you tend to want to shoot it softer, and it'll pull it a little bit. On unforgiving pockets, let's face it, the finals of your state championship, cameras are on you. You're allowed to miss that ball.
Well,
percentage-wise, he'd like to be about 6/10 height on the ball and roll it with a little pace. without having to worry about the object ball or the cue ball getting away from it.
Well, yeah. You're allowed to, but it's not going to help your cause. But definitely, if you do that, you don't want to do too many more.
Right.
Or no more possible.
Well, you know, I'm waiting for our statistician to retabulate the percentages here, but I think that you're going to find that this is getting to be a numbers game all over, that Larry is a willing accomplice here on where he's at. Now, with basically 7 games in the bag, it's Brandon Shuff, 5-2 over top of Larry Kressel here at the Virginia State 9-ball championships.
Wow.
And I truly believe that Larry is going to watch us slip away from him just a few more games before he starts to really set the odds against him so far that he's not going to be able to come back.
You think he is? He might not get a chance to do anything right here because Brandon's got some nice open shots here. Start out his rack.
Well, he's a little mad at himself there. He's saying, I could have got a little bit more of that one, but he's trying to get over for this 4-ball, but he's looking at running into the 9. And he was trying to figure out whether he should run into it softly or hit it firm with a little bit of high left.
Yeah, the thing is, what does he have to gain if he misses it?
That's the one thing. I'm a firm believer there at hitting that with low left, and if you catch the 9, you spin up table quite a bit. But if you don't catch the 9, you still have position on the 4.
Right. Well, at least you can see the 4 from his advantage. It was kind of fortunate, but there's always a good chance you're going to get a shot. There's so many open areas. That was more on the gambling side of what's going to happen. But I like to see those carom shots. I like to win a game on a carom, especially lining it up, finding your exact contact point and sliding right down the tangent line perfectly to hit that contact point on the 9-ball and go straight in the pocket. It's a good feeling.
Yeah, it is. And Larry just played a great bank. He had everything in position that if he missed that ball short or long, pretty much he was going to have Brandon saved. Now, he's supposed to slide to the side rail before the side pocket here and keep sliding below the 8. Not that far, though. I think he got all of that one. He didn't want to do that too far. He has to be looking at the fact that he can just shoot this 6 in between the 9 and the rail, like bank it through and down onto the bottom rail here on the second diamond and just let the cue ball behind the 9. Okay, he just shot it straight in. What do we know?
I'll just follow up 1.5 feet. 14 inches for a shot on the 9 in the side. Not on the rail, but you know what? It most likely make it.
Right.
Were you there in the U.S. Open when Varner and Siegel played? And Siegel was up 9-1 and breaking. He told the audience, "Look, if I scratch on the break, he's going to come back and beat me." And he scratched on the break, and then Varner came back, tied it 10-10, ran down to the 9, missed the 9 in the side, and left Siegel with the cue ball frozen to the 9, no shot. Siegel came up, smacked the balls. They both flew off the table and shook Varner's hand. And Varner went on to win. And then that was one of the times when he won 2 years in a row. So he was the only player to win 2 years in a row before Mika did.
Right. Interesting. I wasn't even aware of that little tidbit of information. I mean, I was probably there because I remember the years that this all happened, but I might not have seen that match.
Right.
I might have said, you know, it's only Varner and Siegel. Who cares? You know. There's
funny.
Other matches to watch, better ones.
Charlie Williams and I were there. We were watching it. I remember that shot. It's on video, too. But, yeah, Charlie's from Newport News.
Well, I can kind of see a good safety or two here. I like thinning the one with a center ball. Just use natural angle and zigzag and get the cue ball down below the 7. It's at the top of the screen right now on the bottom rail.
Or the 3.
Yeah, it's either the 3 or the 7. It's hard
Right in
for
the
me
middle
to
down
tell.
there, in the end rail.
Yeah.
That's the 3. The 7 over here towards the pocket.
Okay, it is the 3 ball. Producer Alvin Nelson not falling asleep at the wheel. Nothing gets by him, folks.
Alvin Nelson, World Alvin, on the team that produced the first ever live pool streaming match in history.
Well, I can tell you right now, if you're Larry, this is what you want. You want, Brandon to just kind of fall asleep at the wheel and not try and shoot safes.
Right? Oh, nice shot.
That was a great shot. Great shot. Wow.
What kind of name
Really
is
good.
Kressel, do you know?
I don't know. I might rule out Vietnamese. But I'm not going to say I'm going to rule it out.
Oh, my God. Had the best Vietnamese pho the other day with shrimp. Oh, it was so good. Spicy. So good, though, the pho. So Kressel has a kick shot.
Well, he made he made the carom. He gave it a ride again, and he's looking at going 2 rails and trying to slap the 3 ball off the side rail back to its original position or real close, and taking the cue up table. The problem is the 9 and 8 are there if he does happen to do that. And I kind of disagreed with that approach. I actually saw the kick the other side, and it was a little bit more high percentage for me.
Oh, my God. Oh, he's really got to be kicking himself because you could hit that 100 times in a row. You could hit that 500 times in a row. At least hit the ball and then one way. But you know what? He was going for something, going for the ball. He took a chance and it drifted. It is harder if you're going to go for that ball because the area to hit it is a lot smaller.
Right.
So it just shows you that he was trying to do something there and have it turn out in his favor. And left this.
I think both players are showing signs of weakness here from the weekend. It's kind of like a hurry-up offense type of approach. And this is the first time I've seen one of the players get up and down.
Oh, yeah.
Seriously, with 8 games in the bag, in the finals, and in the middle of game 9, finally somebody gets up off a shot.
Right.
That's a sign of weariness. The player is almost too tired to want to get back up. Yeah. And I can see that. I mean, this has been a long, grueling weekend. None of these matches have been easy. And it's hitting Brandon. He needs to get 6-3 instead of letting Larry get back to 5-4. And he's finally starting to wake up here.
You mean wake up and bear down?
Yeah.
Is that what you mean?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, definitely. And he's going to get away with something here unless Larry pulls something out of his hat. But I truly think that Larry should play this safe and get the cue behind the 8, but not just get down like he's doing. But I think he's just going to try it without really thinking and say, good enough is good enough. This is the finals.
Well, I see what you're saying. He's definitely in a very existential mode, getting down in the shot. Oh, I see it, do it.
Right. Well, and what it is that when I say fatigue, I'm not saying that these guys are out of shape and that they can barely get up. What I'm saying is they're in a mode where they don't want to visualize anymore and tap in. They're just shooting the shots and they're thinking, well, that's always gone before.
Right.
And I'm not that worried. It's just the finals. Something is telling me that the first one of these guys that takes this set seriously and musters up enough energy mentally to say, hey, I want to make sure that these balls are going. He's possibly the winner. This is 5-4. Brandon's let Larry back in, and Larry's, you know, kind of made some mistakes himself. And
But tell you what, man, you give me that pep talk at this point in the match, I will appreciate it, because this is the perfect time to take charge.
this is it, right here.
Utilize all that power.
Exactly. And here we are after game 9. It's 5-4. Several games ago, we thought that this was going to be a blowout.
J.R. Calvert, powerful J.R. Calvert, with the insightful wisdom of the pool match that we're watching right now. And we would like to thank our sponsors, Aero Funds and Trust Wealth Management, the first ever trust fund company to sponsor a pool tournament. Very cool. We thank you for that. Diamond Billiards, our host facility. This beautiful diamond table, Diamond Billiard Products, is also one of the sponsors. And now Brendan.
Well, Larry finally didn't make a ball on the break. With, you know.
Brendan has to come up with something. And he did.
You know, and I don't want to say that that was an accident, but what I'm saying is what's killing me is that the players aren't giving this weight. I mean, he's finally got back up. He looked at the shot to get with the purpose of getting back up. That leads me to believe that he's starting to wake up here. But, you know, the way he shot the one ball still is a little funky.
Right.
Now the 7-8 on the left-hand side rail there, they should be fairly easy for him to deal with. It's just a matter of him hitting this 4-ball in and running 2 rails to get straight in on the 5 so that he doesn't have to move the cue too much to get on the 6. Because how he gets on that 6 is going to be how close he can get on this whole approach here on the 7. Now he's going to be able to let the cue roll away on the 6 here, but he's not in control of the angle, is what I'm saying.
He could draw between the side pocket and the 8 to the rail right there and then pull back out. That's a possibility, or he can come down underneath the 8, between the 8 and the corner pocket here. Which is what he did. That was easier.
All right.
And might have to follow over to the side rail and back across for the 7.
Well, that would have been my choice, was to follow and come back over, but with the angle that I chose, and that's
fine. Yeah, it was different.
This is different. This
but you know what? I think he's all right. This is if you're considering going across the table and back again for the 8, then this is a good angle for the cue ball. So it's just a matter of being accurate on the object ball, because you're not going to have to hit it too hard to get the proper amount of cue ball movement. So just be accurate, hit a nice center ball around there, and come back across for the 8.
That's right. And you can see that he wanted travel on that ball as much as he could, because the cue ball went down table a little ways. And he's really saying the angle is more important than the distance from the object ball to the cue ball.
Right. And well done.
Well done.
Brandon Shuff, the defending champion here at the Virginia State 9-Ball Championships 2010 in Midlothian, Virginia. Brought to you by Inside Pool Magazine, J.R. Calvert, and Sally Timko, and Alvin Nelson in the production booth for the live streaming.
Of course, joined by Brian Keller. Don't want to forget our referee. He's still on the team in heart, even though he's out there.
Yeah, he wanted to keep commentating. He's a licensed referee.
Yeah, he's been the referee here for several years. He does a great job, and at the same time, you know, we'd love to have him back in the booth, I'm sure.
Do you think he'd ever want to just go ahead and win the tournament so he doesn't have to referee in the later?
He can change shirts in the corner when it's not his shot.
Yeah, that was a good hit. It was perfect.
Well, he let this one ride. I think it was an educated shot. The only problem is he got the nasty little kiss at the end on the 8 and 7.
Well, I tell you what, I want to give a shout out to Giles Dar, who said hi to me on the stream, and it's really great to hear from him. He's one of the nicest guys and one of the greatest pool players who ever lived. This guy had incredible talent, and one time he beat Willie Mosconi, and he didn't know he was playing Mosconi until the end, but he just ran right through him like butter, and super nice guy. And he mentioned Chan Witt, who died in a car accident when he was 20 several years back when I was in college, and he knew Chan. So hello to Giles and everybody out there in the Shenandoah Valley. It's pretty cool to be out here in Virginia.
Well, it looks like Brandon is going to try and cross over this 2 slightly and play the safe. This is a touchy shot. If he's doing what I think he's trying to do, he's trying to actually run into the 4 ball after he banks the 2 away in between the 3-8 and let the 8 be the blocker and the 5-9 be the safety balls. It's touchy. This is a touchy shot.
I think you should sell that information on how to make that shot for like $1.99 as an iPhone app.
Definitely.
You
oh yeah.
Diagram it out and you sell the shot for $1.99.
For anybody that's interested in catching some of the past matches from this tournament or other tournaments that are going on around the country, be sure to check out the online version of Inside Pool Magazine. It's going to be available with these matches here shortly, right after the turn of the month, and we'll be able to you'll be able to play full screen videos. Not that you can't right now in our online version, but these particular videos won't be published in our online magazine for a few weeks now. But be aware that these matches are going to be archived, and you'll be able to catch all the Virginia State 9-ball action at that time. Well, he got his wish. He crossed over, made the save, and has now got ball in hand. And there's just a little bit that he wants to look at, and it's that 5. That 5-9, once this is all done, doesn't necessarily have to be perfect. If this was me, I'd be pocketing the 2 in the lower right-hand corner pocket and letting the cue run into the 9 so that you'd have the 3 setting there, kind of like an insurance shot.
Like a straight ball shot.
Yeah.
Straight pool.
Yeah.
You just break it out a little bit, open that 5 ball to that pocket, and then
push it down a hair.
3-4 and pull out for the 5. Great idea, JR.
If you hit the top side of it, you move the 9 down maybe 3 or 4 inches and let the cue get back straighter for the 3 so that you can roll it in. Nice shot. I think Brandon heard me. All right, I think everybody in the audience knew the shot. Okay.
Let the cat out of the bag.
Anybody that's interested in having video for their event produced by Inside Pool can contact us at insidepoolmag.com. And also, if you're having a tournament and you want to stream the event yourself, you can provide us the video, and we'll include it in the article when we publish online. Obviously, we do have print subscriptions available at InsidePoolMag.com also, and all that's available if you just visit the website.
Well, that's pretty powerful. I mean, somebody can post an article about a tournament and include videos from that tournament in the article.
Yes,
that's
exactly.
Powerful.
That's strong.
Or even little clips of the highlight clip, and then you can watch the matches here.
We have
That's
people
cool,
like AccuStats, some of the others that produce video where they give us shortened versions of the video, or they'll give us a highlight reel and let us see some of the action as the day goes on.
Right.
You know, so that instead of maybe watching 40 matches, you might be able to watch 2 or 3 matches and a couple of shortened highlight reels just to give you the idea of the action and the feel of what was happening. And Brandon has come up with a scratch, letting Larry at the table. And if you're just joining us, You're watching the Virginia State 9-Ball Championships Finals. We're here at Diamond Billiards in Midlothian, Virginia. You're watching Brandon Shuff versus Larry Kressel. The current score is 7-4 in favor of Brandon, and Larry's at the table on the 2-ball, looking to get the back in the set here. He doesn't want to let this be a 4-game lead. He wants to chop it down to a 2-game lead. He's a little rough here on the 3. I have to admit, this is not as advertised. He did not want this shape.
Double shot and left an opening to at least hit the ball. It didn't leave a hanger, run out, or anything. So, but Brandon can play it safe off of this. Left side of the 3, go over to the side rail on the left, and make the 3 on the other side rail.
He's just going to kind of go down and tap it. He's hoping to have got by the 6.
And what happens when you hit it soft at such a distance, the ball can roll off and it can react funnier. But you know what, almost with any form of good thinking, as long as you execute it well, it'll be much better if you do execute it. So I mean, the idea behind the shot isn't that bad. He executes what he was thinking. But some shots just lend themselves to be made a higher percentage of the time.
That's a nice shot. Fairly sporty. Larry is getting right down without even looking and just shooting away.
He's going to come out pretty good here.
Think that he was just, throwing it in, saying no matter what I do, I can think all I want. It's still just going to, come down to me getting a little lucky here.
Wow.
I think that's going to be in Larry's favor.
David's favorite pocket.
Yeah.
Scratching in that pocket.
Well, the 5 to the 6 is the shot. I think as long as he can get around back on the side on this 5 and get an up table angle,
You're right. I mean, the 5 to the 6, the key shot. Right?
Now he has to get back in line right away, and and I think he's on the wrong side of the 5. So now he's got to hit. Yeah, well, now he's just got to kind of, thread the needle.
Well, he's got a huge line of position if he follows this 2 rails towards the 6 on a cut angle for the 6. But he came across and hit it well, I think. He's got to negotiate this with the straight in, though. Close to straight.
Yeah. He doesn't have to pull this back all the way. I think I'd accept pulling it back just a little bit like that.
Good call.
Because you can just either get this angle, or if you go a little bit further, you can just cut the 8 in the side and let the cue ball roll.
Beautiful. He's happy.
All right. 7-5. Lean still in Brandon Shuff's favor. And Larry's going to be breaking now. I really got to say that, when we get to this break this time, I want to see if the ball behind the corner ball goes. It didn't go last time, and, I'm wondering whether even Larry's going to abandon the soft break.
Straight into the corner?
Yeah, he's been making that ball that's behind the 9 right like that. Did you see it?
Yeah.
Went straight in. Straight in.
Well, he didn't end up with anything easy because that 2-ball, this is basically a tester. Long, straight in or almost straight in. But it's open. It's a shot. And the contact point is bigger because it's a straight in shot. He has a little more margin for error than he would on a thin cut shot.
Wow.
Well, look at that position, too. If he had just made it and it was a close miss.
Yeah, I think he overstroked that just a hair. And I'm not saying even from the results, I don't think he needed to hit it near that hard. I think all he needed to really do was just stop the cue ball. This might have got away from him.
Wow.
Sure did.
Twice in a row in the same pocket?
Yeah, almost.
That's the magical mystery pocket.
And this is what Larry's been looking for. He wants to see Brandon make some mistakes so that he can kind of get out of this coma that he's in. And, you know, if he's able to bring this back to 7-6, which he rightfully should with the, you know, the few easy shots that he has in front of him, you know, the real thing is just making the 8, getting on the 8 with a decent angle up table. See whether he can do this.
Cross the line, cross the streams. Remember Ghostbusters? Well, here we are. Look at this.
Able to make a prediction.
Yeah, I predict that Larry's going to be 8. He's going to have 6 games. He's going to be within 1 game.
Excellent. That's why he's a pro, folks. Nothing gets by him. He's able to see. It's really freaky how he can see the future. Just take a second to thank one of our sponsors, Aero Funds, Intrust Wealth Management. Guys are doing a great job supporting the sport. And, you know, we have a couple of others, Diamond Billiards, McDermott Cues, Simona's Cloth. If you're making a purchase, you at least consider these guys. Take a look at them, see how things are going. If they have what you need, that'd be great. And we really appreciate your support. They're helping make this free stream possible. And if you're not making a purchase, maybe drop by any of these guys' websites and tell them thanks.
Rack tight is what we're racking with. They're asking on the stream, well, why aren't they using a rack? And that's because the rack tight is in effect. The 9 stickers, real thin stickers that go down in place where all the balls are and holds them in place. Pretty cool.
Yeah, it's and like we were saying, what a time saver it's been. Less aggravation, plays actually better because you have the ability. It sounds like a miscue. That sounded like a big miscue.
Yeah, it was a miscue.
Well, I don't see any problems here. I really don't. You know, I really think that he's going to be able to get on this 4-ball just 1 rail straight up table if he runs the cue towards a 9.
Yeah, right. It's always a nice shot.
He's come up a little weak.
Yeah,
and
definitely.
The safety's a little funny.
That's a great drill. Anytime you can work on a 1 rail position drill, I used to do that ad infinitum, playing that 1 rail position drill. It's my favorite. I like putting the balls to where they go way up table. The line just continues to go up past the middle of the table, and you keep playing 1 rail for those balls.
Mm-hmm. I don't know whether he sees the safety here, but the safety is to shoot to 4, pass to 5, and let the cue ball come back with a little bit of low left behind the 8. Oh, he sees it. And there he is.
That was nice. Great Wall of China.
And if you notice, that was one of Larry's first times where he slowed down and considered the fact that maybe he should think this out. So we've woke a couple of our sleeping giants. They're finally realizing that they're in the finals and that they want to win. So I think this match is going to get really enjoyable from this point. I don't think we're going to see, you know, 1-stroke madness and, you know, failing to get in line with the ball or failing to get up and as a, you know, a fix-all.
Well, it's 7-6 Brandon, and that's a close match.
He moved a little bit there and still made the shot. What a great shot. That's the type of shot that got him to this table at this time. Like I said, there's just something about the fact that he woke up because he took his time. Being out of line a little bit here doesn't bother me. I think he's going to hold this with a little high left, center left, roll it, keep a nice line on the 8, and just roll it, come about half pocket speed. side pocket speed. Yeah.
Well, he's in danger of scratching if he just lets the cue ball float off that 8. So he's got to bend it with some draw. Unless the top will take him barely to miss that corner.
Best players in the world all get around and look at this shot.
Yeah.
They don't just shoot that shot. I mean, they all look at that line to the hole, and he slow rolled it better, against your best advice there, Max. But
well, you know what? He saw the angle, and when you can see it, he was really a lot further from that corner pocket than I thought he could get just glancing at the shot. So that was a good shot.
It truly was. Well, after 14 games down, we're all knotted up here at 7 games apiece. This is the finals of the Virginia State 9-Ball Championship here at Diamond Billiards in Midlothian, Virginia. I'm J.R. Calvert. This is Max Eberly joining me here in the booth. And
pleasure to be here, JR.
Thank you. Let's watch this break. See if he's going to get that second ball back. The 8 ball got kissed out on the way there this time.
Was trying to hit the cue ball into the pocket. It's like giving it a few different punches. It was fun. I actually saw Sly Stallone in the airplane from L.A. to Phoenix a couple weeks ago. Stallone was sitting there in the first class, walked by, and there he was, and like Christian Slater was in front of him. And then this really hot bikini model was on the other side of the first class. And Stallone was trying to jump across, kept jumping across, talking to her during the flight. But anyway, I don't know why. We're talking about pool punches. Thought about Stallone for some reason, but
I thought this was the beginning of a joke.
well, it's like,
I'm still waiting for the punchline.
It is, man. It is. The whole thing's a joke. It's a beautiful game as well, and he's got an angle here, a little angle to do something. I say with high left.
Well,
I don't know.
the 5 is such a big ball. What he wants to really do is hit around between the second and third diamond, bounce off with the reverse spin, because it's the second rail of the zigzag, and kill for that deuce. But the 5's in the way.
Between the 8 and the 9, have the cue ball be in there.
Yeah, he's looking at that alley
somewhere,
and now he's got to spin it down here and catch it clean.
Oh, nice.
Great shot. Great shot.
Nice. He looked at it for a while, like you said.
They're not just shooting and saying, oh, well, whatever happens will happen. They're taking their time now. Both these guys have woke up and realized how important this match is.
Fear of loss.
Exactly.
They realized the importance of this, winning this championship Virginia trophy, the state of Virginia with gold on top of the wood.
Well, that happens. That happens, too, though. You can sit there and forget what you're doing. And, you drove here maybe yesterday morning and dreamed about being in the finals and got so wrapped up into playing that you forgot, wow, I'm actually in the finals. Maybe I should reassess, my goals here now and visualize winning the tournament instead of just making it to the finals. Who knows what's going on, but both players seem to have their body language and the amount of time that they're taking now is totally different. I think both have had enough time to sit in their chair and watch the other guy running out for a victory to wake them both up.
It goes back to Rocky. Dun, 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 dun. These guys want to win, so that adds drama to this story. A lot of players in this tournament wanted to win, and we're down to 2 here at the Virginia State 9-Ball Championships 2010 in Midlothian, Virginia at Diamond Billiards. Very clean, upscale pool hall. It's been here about 2.5 years. Beautiful pool room. Great food and drinks, and great environment, great neighborhood. And I'm here with J.R. Calvert, an Inside Pool magazine being produced by Alvin Nelson. And we got a great tournament. Let's see what happens here. This is the final act of the tournament.
Definitely. This is it. This is what we've been waiting for the entire weekend, is to be able to crown a champion. And honestly, it's to the point where we wanted to see these guys get to this point where they were playing this good and it meant something to them. Because we've been watching it all week. We're hoping that what we see is somebody run like 9 or 10 racks, and we're wanting this. And now they're waking up. they can still 2 and 3 stroke the balls, and probably, you know, they're now fine-tuned enough and they're in stroke enough from the weeks of playing. It's just they needed to make that mental jump from I'm just beating balls, you know, at a room that I go to all the time to a point where, hey, I'm playing for the state championship.
Oh my God! And he just outran himself. He probably knew it when he shot it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, he knew as soon as he shot that
I wonder what it was. If his bridge wasn't ready, or if he came down. Alvin thinks he jumped off. It's a race to 11, and it's really a race to 4 because it's 7-7. So you got a race to 4 right here.
Right. Well, it's interesting because tour promoter or tournament promoter Joshua Dickerson has chosen to go with a 1-set finals and making it a race to 11. A lot of places might say I still want to keep this as, you know, true double elimination. And, you know, what you'll get is somebody like Brandon who thinks, wow, you know, maybe the first couple of games I'm such a favorite. And then suddenly he realizes he might be down 3-1 and he doesn't have a second bullet. He's even with the other guy no matter what path either one took on their way there. So that gets to be interesting.
Well, he can challenge him to a duel.
And
just kidding. Like the you know, in the first days of Congress. Brian Keller back in the booth for a moment.
We're going to take this moment while the players take a break, and producer Alvin Nelson is saying, hey, why don't we run a few commercials and thank our sponsors here. So we'll be back in a few seconds here, guys.
Since 1975, McDermott Q has consistently raised the performance standards for what billiard players expect from a high-performance cue. Introducing the highest evolution in shaft technology. Our new G-Core shaft features a triple-layer design which reduces vibration and minimizes shaft distortion. The patented Intimidator I-Shaft series incorporates a full-length carbon fiber core that results in the most radical consistent shaft on the market, from our ball-breaking big boy shaft to the surgical precise I-3 shaft. McDermott Q. Hardcore performance for hardcore players. Since 1975, McDermott.
Hello, I'm Max Eberly, and I want to invite you to my website, maxeberly.com, where you can sign up for my free 8-day pool mastery boot camp. Just come on over, sign up, and I'll send you a new video every couple days. If your game's in a slump or you just want to get the most out of your game. Paul Thanks a lot, and I'll see you soon.
How
I
feel about the top female Asian players.
Hello, I'm Max Eberly, and I want to invite you to my website, maxeberly.com, where you can sign up for my free 8-day pool mastery boot camp. And just come on over, sign up, and I'll send you a new video every couple days. If your game's in a slump or you just want to get the most out of your game. Thanks a lot, and I'll see you soon.
Let me know when they're ready to start playing. Larry's shot, or is just waiting for Larry? That'll work. Exactly. That'll work.
Consistently raise the performance standards for what billiard players expect from a high-performance cue. Introducing the highest evolution in shaft technology. Our new G-Core shaft features a triple-layer design which reduces vibration and minimizes shaft distortion. The patented Intimidator I-Shaft series incorporates a full-length carbon fiber core that results in the most radical consistent shaft on the market, from our ball-breaking big boy shaft to the surgical precise I-3 shaft. McDermott Q. Hardcore performance for hardcore players. Since 1970.
And I want to invite you to my website, maxeberly.com, where you can sign up for my free 8-day pool mastery boot camp. Just come on over, sign up, and I'll send you a new video every couple days. If your game's in a slump or you just want to get the most out of your game. Thanks a lot, and I'll see you soon. Hello, I'm Max Eberly, and I want to invite you to my website, maxeberly.com, where you can sign up for my free 8 8-day pool match. We're back at the Virginia State Nine-Ball Championships. And Brandon Shuff has an 8-7 lead over Larry Kressel in a race to 11 in the finals here. And we have two former champions. Both of them have won this tournament one time. Larry Kressel won it in 2006, and Brandon Shuff won it last year, 2009.
All right. Tournament promoter Joshua Dickerson handed us a note during the break reminding us that this is a repeat match of the 2007 Virginia State Finals, and his stats tell him that Larry won that match.
Okay.
And actually the video of that match is available at va-pool.com. So if you're interested in seeing what the first matchup from these two guys look like, you can see it there, va-pool.com. Well, back at the ranch here, it looks like basically Larry got a shot to lay the grease down on Brandon, and he did so. And Brandon's going to have to get down on this one. I think he should have zigzagged at that. I really didn't agree with that kick. The angle just wasn't there. He tried to open that angle up way too much, and it just wasn't going to happen. The 5 was in the way.
Well,
Anyway.
I just thought it was funny because Larry gave us the bio sheet. He had 2006 Virginia State champion with a question mark. Like he knew he won it, but he couldn't remember which year. That's why I was saying 2006. But it was 2007, hence the question mark. And also matches up with the right dates where Brandon Shuff got second place 2 times in a row.
Right.
2007, 8, and then finally 9 he won, and now he's going for his second win, which would tie Chris Lohr as being the
winningest player at the Virginia State 9-ball.
Yeah.
The tournament has a lot of history. A lot of great players have held this title. And, well, let's see what Brandon comes up with his jump shot. Great shot. Got out of a real pickle that Larry had put him in there. He basically had no kicks. And if he could even manage to get down there and bend it, he might have scratched anyhow by hitting the inside of the 1-ball.
Mm-hmm.
So he kind of got out of a mess there. But I think in the meantime, he left Larry a shot and an open table while breaking out some of the balls. So at least he's making Larry work for it instead of going down the 3-foul route.
Well, looks like he can just either drag the cue ball, hit it low. No, the 4 is out there in the middle, so he.
I think he's going to follow it and
Well, he just missed is the main thing.
That was a legitimate miss. He's a little angry with himself right now, understandably. Let's see if he can turn that anger around and get a little bit more determined.
I think he's got a really good autopilot gear going on, and he's making a high percentage of his shots. But I don't think he's necessarily zeroing in 100% that he could. And not that he's not trying to, it's just the way it's turning out. Sometimes it's hard to focus 100%.
Right.
And it's just, part of it's a matter of learning or just, seeing that opportunity and taking it.
Right. I was just going to say, if you're Brandon, do you keep an angle on the 7 towards the rail, or do you get inside and shoot it across? I kind of always liked doing what Brandon had done there and just keeping an angle towards the long rail.
Right.
Even on a shot like this, I would have tried to make sure I had an angle, because I don't like shooting the 9 across there all the time.
Exactly. Well, I was thinking on the 7, just pull one rail right towards the 8 on line and position, leaving yourself an angle instead of coming across by the side, crossing over that zone.
Right.
But it really depends on how you're playing and what feels good to you.
Right.
But it's cool. Once you get the cue ball in under your rein, then you can pretty much play textbook. and not just what feels right, but what's right by the book, and you can play like a perfect picture perfect pattern and just do it over and over and over again. That's possible, you know.
Right.
That's the fun part. But you know, if you can go against that if that's what tickles your fancy and you run out, that's fine. The main thing is getting the result. It's hard to argue with results.
Yeah, it is. It really is.
But if you're not, then you might want to keep working on your pattern play to where you're really playing solid patterns all of the time, and it just becomes really easy running out.
Well, Brandon found a good mix there on the break. It was a little power, a little bit of a cut style, and ended up with a makeable shot on the one, and he's off to the races now. Scores currently 9-7 in Brandon's favor, so he's looking to get the hill here. And not that that's anything, well, here we go.
He might be a little rattled too, you know. He's a little. I've seen him rattled before in the finals of the NCS 8-ball championship. Him and Chen were going back and forth, and they both made a lot of mistakes. And I've seen Brandon where he's not making any mistakes, you know. So the main thing for him is to incarnate that spirit, that game that he has most of the time, which is running out.
Right.
Just bring that into fruition right here, you know.
Exactly. And, you know, both players are playing in the mid-700s right now. I know both are capable of playing easily 900 speed. So they're off their game. And I think part of it is because it's a long weekend, and the other part of it is, you know, both players have a lot of respect for the other. And obviously they've met before in this same exact situation. If you're Brandon, you need to, you know, focus on putting a notch on your side. And I think he's just going to keep on this 8-ball.
Yeah, he's got all, you know, so many shots. He's got all the shots in his repertoire. He can run out. You know, just focus, and this is going to put him on the hill, right?
Yeah, this is going to be the hill for him. He's perfect on this. I mean, I don't see any problems here.
A lot about being a champion is when you mess up, how do you respond to that? You
right.
know, and if you mess up multiple times in a row, how do you respond to that? You know, you just got to keep on fighting, and just may have been each mistake may have been your last.
You know, it's funny is that when I was a lesser player and I made a lot of mistakes, it didn't make a big difference to me. I could start playing well at any time.
Right.
But as I got to be a better player, I could play 10 perfect games and make a mistake and then literally be out to lunch for another 5 games because of one mistake.
All right.
So it actually became harder for me to play good with a mistake under my belt as I got better.
Right.
And, you know, not that I would like sprawling and just, you know, hang out. It's because I would gradually be trying to tweak myself and hone myself during a match. And a mistake would throw me. And then I started to learn the other side of it was mental. It wasn't really me playing poorly. It was just a missed shot. So it happens.
It's an important realization. You probably won a lot more matches, too, because of that. Once you had that realization.
Right.
More matches that maybe you wouldn't have won before you had that.
Exactly. Yeah, and you can look at it and say, look, I can make 95 shots perfect in a row. If I really get down to it, I could be having a great day and make 200 in a row, maybe 300 or 400 perfect shots in a row. But when it comes down to making a mistake, if you make that first mistake, you're allowed to still make another 300 or 400 perfect shots in a row. Don't, you know, beat yourself up and say, hey, how am I ever going to, you know, be into that right percentage of where I'm at then? You don't have to. You can have a great day, you know, and just because you make a few bad shots doesn't mean that you can't come with a great day still. I don't think I made sense there, but...
That made sense. Who's that guy who won the Masters when he was really young?
I don't know who you mean.
You know, he wore a red shirt on Sundays. And he would win a lot of big tournaments.
Yeah, he used to win a lot of real good. Yeah, he used to really win a lot of golf tournaments.
Well, Larry Kressel has a red shirt today, and
He's got a Sunday red on.
he's also got 7 games. 4 games in a row will give him the Virginia State title.
Yeah.
4 in a row. He needs it. He has to have it. Right now, that's where he is right now in his reality. Got to win 4.
All right.
Quite possible. That's what I think. When I'm in a situation coming from behind, I got a few things that I like to think, but one of them is I give players big spots all the time. I'll spot them games like in a handicap tournament. So that's all
Right.
this is. It's a handicap. I'm spotting them 4 games like I always do, usually win. So that's all this is. Just do that even though it's a better player than most of the handicap tournaments. It's not handicapped. But it still doesn't matter. You just play. You just got to figure. You got to play perfect. And if you've done it at least once before, then you know you can do it again. You know. And if you hadn't done it before, then who's to say you couldn't do it right now?
Exactly. First time for everything, right?
Yep.
Well, it looks like Larry has got a safe down on Brandon. I don't think Brandon's going for the jump shot here, is he? Sure looks like it.
Well, Brandon, on the other hand, just needs 1 game. Look at that. So close to making
And he's
it.
going to make it.
And he did.
And that might have just won him the Virginia State Championship.
Tell you what, though, that 5 ball is tied up with a 9.
Well, and this is where you can pick it clean or even run into the 9 and carry him off the 9 and run away from the 5.
He just hit, well, he got an angle. He may have hit it a few inches too soft, but he's still got the right angle.
Well,
It's a little tricky, though.
let's see what he's got here.
It'd be hard to be straight in on the 5 after he hits that 9. The cue ball is going to go towards the 6, and he's going to have a bank on the 4. But we'll see.
Yeah, I always would approach this as, okay, what is my best plan as far as hitting it, and then what is my best contingency plan if I miss it? Okay, that's about what he was hoping to get, except for the fact that the 9-8 doesn't look like it's a dead combination. It's not wired, but it is there. So he's going to have to jack up and either back cut the 5 or play safe.
You could bank it. You could bank it and then bank the 6 cross side. He's playing bank pool.
I even like, thinning the 5 past the side pocket a hair, running 3 rails and getting in behind the 8-9.
Or thin the left side of the 5 and go up table to the end rail in the middle and leave the 5 on the end rail up here. That's a little tricky too. Might have to go 2 rails with the cue ball. There's a lot of things he can do. Like Nick Varner said, there's a million things he can do. You might even be able to cut the 5 straight in the corner and then shoot the 6-9 combo and win the game on the 6-9 combo.
The 6-9 combo is just a little bit funny. And that's it. Your new
Brandon Shuff,
2010 Virginia State 9-ball champion, Brandon Shuff. Defeats Larry Kressel. Score 11-7. Wanted to take a moment to thank all of our sponsors: Entrust Wealth Management, Diamond Billiards here in Midlothian, McDermott Cues, Simona's Cloth, Diamond Billiard Products, Rack Tight, Pool School Info, Pro Pool Stats, Inside Pool Magazine, and Definitive Synergy Billiard POS software. Signing off here, I'm J.R. Kelvert. Max Eberly, thank you very much.
Appreciate it. Had a great time.
We hope you folks can have enjoyed yourselves. Stay tuned. We might get the award ceremony going on here. We're going to duck out and let the awards go in from here. But at the same time, if you want to catch any of these videos, check out it va-pool.com or look on Inside Pool Mag, the online version, when we release it next month. Good night, everybody.